Good afternoon, and welcome to another trepidatious version of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your treacherous and traitorous host, Voice of Doom. Hello. Alright, I haven't done a diatribe in a few days. I'm going to let the fury and anger build up in me until I erupt and probably either have a stroke or a heart attack. But I just figured I'd do a quickie before I go play some music for tips. What's been going on in the world lately? Well, it's nearing the end of September. It's September 26th, 30 days past September, 4 more days till the end. And I was thinking we wouldn't make it through this month. I was kind of hoping, kind of neglected paying some of my bills in anticipation of worldwide destruction, but I guess we're still here. But we still have 4 days, and in that 4 days, a lot can happen. Let me give you a few examples. Well, maybe the Congress does not come to some agreement about how to appropriately disperse what money they don't have and never did have. And then they shut down the government, which would be a tragedy. Be a horrible disaster if the government shut down. The problem is, it's only temporarily shut down and everybody gets paid anyway. They just get paid vacations. So what the point of shutting the government down is, I have no idea. Okay, we don't have any money to pay you anymore. We've reached our ceiling, so don't go to work. But we will pay you for the time you didn't work when we get the appropriations bill done. Alright, I already talked about fiscal irresponsibility. I already talked about what a fiasco we're in. 33 trillion. Petri dish has raised the debt to 8 trillion in 2 years. Now come on. We're going to keep going like we're going, as if the US, what used to be dollar, it will always be a sound thing to base our global fiat currency on. Other countries are saying otherwise, and other countries are jumping ship and going, this house of cards and this paper tiger has been around long enough. And since it's made of crepe paper, all we need is one match. But that wasn't going to be what I was going to rage about today, because it's just so stupid. They have no money in the first place, yet they keep putting on debt ceilings as if once we reach that, no more spending. Now come on. Just make a law tomorrow, today, I think it's Tuesday. Go into your stupid chambers and just vote no ceiling. There will never be a ceiling again. We will just spend as we need to spend. We won't worry about voting about a cap on the debt. Because I've never seen the debt go down, and I've never seen the debt stop. And it never will, because we're on a trajectory called a hockey stick. We were down here for a long time, and then it went, and that means that what used to be the United States is insolvent, and anybody with half a brain knows it, and I've known it since 1992. I thought it was insolvent in 92. And I find out we can go a lot further on fumes. Okay, so Petri dish has done everything he can to ruin anything, any hopes we might have of salvaging anything out of this, what used to be country. There won't even be bricks. There won't even be nails to sift out of the rubble once he's done. And, of course, they tout what a great job he's doing and what a disaster it would be if Orangey was re-elected. It would be the end of democracy. The gaslighting, I've already gone through all this. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but let's talk about the main problem that is vexing people right now, because it's so damn obvious that you can't help but say, wait a minute, what are we going to do? And that is illegal migration. Now, I don't care about people's God-given right to move around where they want. If they want no boundaries, have no boundaries. I'll go down to Nicaragua, and we can start a little colony down there. Now, speaking of colonies, do you know there is a new colonialization of what used to be America since the United States concept has failed? It's time to recolonize, and that's exactly what they're doing. U.S. oligarchs are buying up large swaths of land and selling them to illegal immigrants. The immigrants do not have to have a social security number. They do not have to have any money. It will be financed by the developer. It's called Colony Ridge. It's a few miles north of Houston. It is 600 square miles. It's the size of Washington, D.C., okay? And it is squalor. It is worse than the worst Indian reservation in what used to be the United States. Now, nothing against Native Americans. They want to be called Indians, that's their problem. But they've been given reservations, and most of the ones I've seen are in bad shape. You can tell the minute you enter one. They're all over Carson City. And the minute you enter one, everything goes down. The facilities, the infrastructure, the state of the houses, everything goes down. You have a very nice neighborhood, and 2 blocks later, it's just squalor. Okay, now I'm not going to lay any blame on anyone for that. You give people land, they do what they want with it. I only use my own eyes now. No more conspiracy theories, no more pontifications on who's to blame and who's to this or that. It's only going to be what I see. Well, I'll blame. But I'm not going to say it's conspiracy, because that's just not accomplishing anything. So this colony is going to be a off-the-shelf area for immigrants who have come in here under false pretenses. There's already been crimes committed in this colony Ridge, it's called, LLC. Who's the name of the guy? Can't remember off the top of my head, but I've heard reports that he's going to merely milk these migrants dry, who are already being milked by the cartels to get here in the first place. And then they're going to be milked by American oligarchs who will promise them a place to live and own your own land until you can't make a payment, and then we'll take it back and sell it to somebody else and keep selling it over and over again, and you guys can disperse throughout what used to be the United States. So there's colonies. It had to happen. What else are you going to do? It's getting to the point where even the D's in NYC are yelping and squealing about, we're a sanctuary city, but this is ridiculous. We can't handle all these people. You keep giving us more and more and more. Yeah, because they keep letting more and more and more in. I don't even know the numbers. 2,000 a day, 4,000 a day, 10,000 a day, 4,000 at Eagle Pass today, 10,000 a day across the border. Every single day. 10,000 times 360, whatever. The final tally so far for Petri Dish, and I hope he gets the Nobel Peace Prize for this, 9 million. The illegal immigrants are now the 9th or 10th largest state in what used to be the United States, if they all conglomerate in this Colony Ridge area. They are a little smaller than New Jersey, but a little bigger than Virginia. That's in Petri Dish's tenure in the last 2.5 years. And it really is galling. I don't know how many other people get so mad that they would really like to do something draconian as far as punishing the people who keep saying the border is the problem of the Republicans. We haven't done any immigration reform. If only they did some immigration reform laws, then we could stop all this from happening. That makes a lot of sense. They need to make laws for immigration in order to stop them breaking the law, which are already on the books. Now that gets irksome whenever I hear Karine Jean-Pierre say this is squarely in the lap of the goppers who are not doing immigration reform. That's why we have to keep letting people in by the tens of thousands every day, because they're not doing reform and putting laws up for a pathway to citizenship. And then they tout the border. The border is very well organized. The border is very secure. Yeah, it's more secure than Orangey had it, because Orangey was keeping people at the border and not letting them in. Of course you are more orderly in the way you're just shuffling people into their reservations in Colony Ridge. Now this is something that's starting to get me a little angry, because you can see the country getting, you can see this area getting squeezed. And it ain't going to fly in Carson City. It is not. I don't care how many D's are in the damn Capitol building down the street. It is not going to fly. If they start bus loading people from God knows where, hell will be paid. Immediately. I predict it. Because Carson City is reasonably active politically, because we are the capital. And someone will get wind that there's a couple buses coming, and there will be people there. And hopefully it gets on the national news. But it's maddening. I cannot stand listening to the gaslighting, touting how well the border is. Mayorkas, disgraceful human being who should not be allowed to be free. He should be incarcerated in an Iron Maiden. All the rest of them, sickening. And Petri Dish is losing it more and more. So I hope he gets re-elected so we can have the conflagration once and for all. Just let him get re-elected, let the whole world blow up. Another species can come later and try to do better. I'm sick of this, you can tell. I'm getting really, really pissed. What else was bugging me about these migrants? Aside from where they're going, the fact that they're giving job permits to Venezuelans because of special circumstances. Should just bomb the shit out of Venezuela. Wouldn't that be easier than having to have all these people trudge up through Central America and Mexico with their knapsack full of frickin' Slim Jims? That's another thing, is nobody should believe any of this crap about all these people risking their lives. They're getting rides, they're on trains. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if there's some sort of a secret underground railroad. But these people are not walking from Venezuela with their kids and a knapsack, and they're not walking from Venezuela to El Paso. It's not happening. It's not humanly possible. And if they were, they'd be bedraggled. They'd be scratched up, they'd be blistered, they'd look like hell. So this whole thing's a facade, and everybody should know it. I'm sick of this, man. I'm not going to do any more diatribes pretty soon, because it's hopeless. Americans are apathetic, complacent. They'll do anything. They'll go along with anything. They believe anything. People in the younger generation can't even do their times tables. They have no idea what's going on. None. So I'm getting a little bit PO'd. And I'll leave it at that, I guess. I really wanted to reel on and on and on about how bad everything is, because it's horrible. I hope the government shuts down for good. I hope every government worker loses their job with no pay. None. Oh, by the way, we spent your pension too. Sorry. I'd love to see it. I'd relish every minute of it. So, even though my kid is in the army and he's been stationed to one of the worst hotbeds of violence One of the worst places on the planet Earth to be stationed in, El Paso, Texas. Worse than Beirut, worse than Somalia, worse than South Korea. He'd be safer in South Korea than he is in El Paso. That's where he's being stationed. So we lucked out on that one. But if he gets laid off from his army job, then we'll just go back to the way we were before and continue stockpiling canned goods. So I'll leave it there. I think this was kind of a good one because I'm a little passionate about this tonight, and hopefully everyone enjoys it. Can't wait for the comment. Bye.